You don't need to crank out AI slop images or fake videos to use AI effectively. I know that's a big reason why people don't like it. You can really just ask it to do the work you don't want to do, and that's the whole point of this video. It's a complete beginner's guide to getting AI to do tasks for you inside any software you already use. And today, I'll use Todoist. My name is Patrick, and I automate small businesses and teach professionals to do the same. In this video, I'm going to show you three different things. I'm going to show you how to connect apps with Claude, so the software that you're already using, how to tell Claude how to use those apps that you're already using, and then I'm going to give you the exact framework that I go through each time I want to automate a task inside a software when I'm using Claude. I've taught a lot of business owners how to automate tasks in these apps just this exact same way, so let's get started. So let's get started with the three different things that we're going to talk about. So like I said in the intro, AI can be used to control these apps in the cloud, and these are simply called connectors. So let's say you have something like you're using Claude, and you want to have Claude complete a task for you in QuickBooks. There is actually a connector for QuickBooks. This is also sometimes called an MCP connection or an MCP server. So this allows Claude and gives Claude permission to control applications. Now, how we tell Claude how to use that app is called a skill. So let's say we have a recurring task like create an invoice, and we want Claude to be able to do that repeatably the way that we like to do it. We simply create a skill to do this. And then here's actually the approach that I take in practice to create a connection and to actually control or do a repeatable task. So first, I ask Claude what it can do in the app. So I'll create the connection, and then I'll hop inside a quick chat with Claude, and I'll ask, hey, how do you, or what tools can you use inside this app? And it'll tell me. Then I use it to collaboratively complete a task. So for example, maybe complete an invoice or create an invoice. And then I would ask Claude simply to turn that into a skill. So that's the framework that I use, and I'm just going to go through and do it right now. This is actually an example that I used to help my mom so that she could more easily create and edit her grocery list. So first, I'm going to go in to customize, and I am actually going to delete the Todoist connector. This is the one that we're using, so I'm going to disconnect, and I'm going to go to the skill, and I have this Todoist grocery adder. So I'm actually going to uninstall this skill. So now Claude has no idea what Todoist is or how it can use it. So what I will do is I will go into customize. Now, this is number one. This is how we connect an app. So I'm going to go to connectors. I'm going to click on this plus button. I'm going to press browse connectors. And then what's cool is there's just an unlimited number of apps in here, and new apps are being added every day because companies know that their software is not only going to be used by humans, it's also going to be used by AI agents. But we'll go ahead and say Todoist. Perfect. Now we'll connect. And we're going to go through the normal authentication process for any application. It's just going to ask me to sign into Todoist. And today it's taken a little bit longer than usual, but perfect. Yeah, read and write access to application data. Allow access. Okay, perfect. Now we are connected. All right, so we see Todoist down here. Now we'll come back to a chat. And we will say something like, hey, can you see my Todoist? Remember, this is the first step. We don't want Claude to just run rampant and assume what it's able to do inside an app. So we're actually just going to ask it what it's capable of doing. So, oh, look, it's able, I said, hey, can you see my Todoist? And I want to apply to 2 jobs on Upwork in the morning and apply to 2 jobs in Upwork in the afternoon. So it already knew what's on my to-do list for today. Awesome. So now the next step, remember, is complete a task collaboratively. So I actually want to add something to my grocery list. This is what I taught my mom how to do. So I'm going to say, please add eggs to my grocery list. We'll see how it does. All right, so this one says, click up add task to check if there is a Todoist specific approach. but it doesn't look like it. Oh, it's looking at add tasks. Okay, done. Eggs added to your groceries list. But what we saw there was it went through a different process. It looked at a different skill. It started talking about ClickUp. And most of the time when I'm not using an actual grocery adding skill, it's not able to complete this task because there's so much going on in my Todoist. So let's go ahead and turn that into a skill. Hey, can we go ahead and turn that into a skill so that you don't have to look at other lists or anything like that when you're adding things to my grocery list? I'd like you to, whenever I need something added to my grocery list, be able to add it very, very reliably and efficiently. All right, so I'm just telling it how to do it. Most of the time when I've run this in the past, it actually asks, hey, I don't see a grocery list. Would you like me to create one? But there is one. It's just called groceries. It's not called the grocery list. So it says, I have everything I need from the conversation. Here's the skill. So let's see how it does. The grocery list skill directory. Then we'll actually test its performance after. But creating a repeatable task inside of Claude is really this easy. You just do it collaboratively. We could have done something a lot more sophisticated. But as we can see over here, it says add one or more items to Patrick's Todoist grocery list. Use the skill immediately and without any lookup steps whenever Patrick mentions needing to buy something. It says add X to my grocery list, grab X from the store, put X on the list, or we're out of X, or any phrasing that implies a grocery or household item needs. So I don't have to change the way that I speak. I don't have to change the way that I control software. I just have an assistant that I'm able to say, hey, add this to the list. Normally I'm shouting at my wife across the house, and that's not quite as effective. And I don't think it's the best thing for our relationship. So what I'm able to do here is, simply just add things to the grocery list. So now we say save that skill. So now the next time I ask it to do this, I won't have to watch it look at other skills because it was looking at the ClickUp skill. That's not related at all. So I'm just going to simply ask, all right, can you add milk, eggs, and flour to my grocery list? All right, now it's going to look up this skill specifically right away and not anything else. And see, you can see that it's already adding tasks. And it said added milk, eggs, and flour to your grocery list. So now instead of it trying to figure out, hey, what tools do I have in Todoist? Instead of it asking, oh, what lists are there in Todoist? It knows exactly the list and it knows exactly what we're supposed to do. So if you have a protocol for creating invoices in QuickBooks or assigning tasks to your VA in ClickUp, you can create skills just like this to completely automate the process so that AI can act reliably as an agent for you to complete these tasks. Pretty cool, huh? This is just a really quick showing of the grocery list. I didn't show it before, but here we have eggs, milk, eggs, and flour added again. So it's really not a big... I just wanted to show you that it worked. If you made it this far, you might be interested in a free AI assessment. I personally take a look at your business and tell you how I would automate your biggest pain points. You just talk to my AI assistant for like 15 minutes about your business, and then I do the rest. The link is in the description below. I can do this.